It's all a game and you are everything. I'm driving home from the beach and I have just listened to something after seeing Angel Numbers 555, one after the other. Like, I saw it on the phone, I saw it on a sign, and yeah, and then I listened to a YouTube video regarding that, and then it triggered me to pull over. I'm driving. I don't have enough battery on my phone, so I've got to keep the engine running to keep the phone going. But you know, when like the iron strikes and you just have to go for it. So I felt the need to share this because somebody who listens to it needs to hear it. Wherever you are in your life right now, whatever circumstance you find yourself in, and it may be a difficult one, we all have challenges, right? And I want you to know that when you leave this human body, none of it matters. Like, basically, if you knew what happened, if you knew deep down in your heart, in your core, in your being, if you knew exactly what happens when you die, you wouldn't fear anything in this life. You wouldn't hold back. You wouldn't not do something you want to do. You wouldn't not say what you want to say. You would only pursue your passion. You wouldn't be doing something for the sake of money. If you knew what you need to know, you wouldn't fear anything, because there's nothing to fear. I watched something today briefly on YouTube, a lady's near-death experience, right? And she said she actually experienced this of passing over and seeing her father, who was in the next, we call it realm or whatever you want to call it. He'd already left his human body, right? She's explained in detail what she felt, what she saw, what she heard, and basically there's so much of this online. If you look for it, it's everywhere, because it's real and it's true. And if you listen to it and hear it and it resonates with you, it's because it's real. And she was explaining how when she left her human body, that it felt real, everything felt real, everything felt connected, and God was within her and she was God. God wasn't this like big thing in the clouds looking over with a grey beard. She is everything and everything is her. So she could feel, she could see, she could see someone in one place and someone in another place. She could see what her family members were doing and her friends were doing. She could feel nothing but pure love. So you know how so many people now in the human body have these opinions, have these cultures, have these beliefs, have these mindsets, have these, yeah, I would say opinions. For example, in her case, her father had an opinion on things and didn't think she was doing the right thing with her life and all this kind of stuff, right? Due to his culture and his conditioning and belief system and how he was brought up. But what she was saying was, when she went to the next realm and she spoke with her dad, it wasn't like a verbal conversation, but it was more of a feeling and a knowing. She knew in that moment that he loved her. He loved her unconditionally, and he loved her because she was her. It didn't matter what she did. It didn't matter what she thought. It didn't matter what her behaviors, her thoughts. Like, it's her being, it's her soul, it's her essence, it's who she is that he loves. So I wanted to share this because I want people to know that this isn't it. This is not it. This is basically kind of like a game of Monopoly, right? And you chose which player you wanted to be before you entered your body. You know how you can choose to be the dog, the iron, the whatever. Before you're born, you choose to play out this role. This is a role that you're playing, basically. It's not meaningless, right? You're here to enjoy life, yes, but there is no right or wrong. You don't have only one path. You have choices, and you are here, believe it or not, just to experience life and to live and to experience joy and to experience love and laughter, and then that's it. You're not here to accumulate possessions. You're not here to build the biggest house or drive the fastest car. All that is complete and utter crap. It's just bullshit. It doesn't mean anything in the scheme of things. If you think about how amazing this whole universe existence, how long people have been around for, and how short your life is as a human in context to everything. Whether or not you drive that car or whether or not you get that job, really, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter. When you leave this body, you don't have any hierarchy, you don't have a lower hierarchy, you don't have black and white, you don't have good and bad, you just have. So all this bullshit that goes on in a lot of people's lives today is very unnecessary and very what's the word, just it's lack of knowledge. It's just a pure lack of knowledge, and unfortunately some people are awakened and some people aren't, and that's okay, I suppose. Like, everybody has a role to play, and they chose to play an unawakened role. So if you find somebody in your life where you look at them, I often feel this way, someone's revving their exhaust pipe, you know, making dust for some reason, trying to make up for something else. It's their ego. It's just like, okay, there you go. It's like a little baby that's trying to crave attention. It's really pathetic and ridiculous, but also it's just the role they chose. You know, we attract what we are, not what we want. So you're not going to attract somebody like that. You know, you're going to be repelled by them. So we're all walking, talking magnets, you know, and this video will attract the right people that need to see it, and some people will start to listen to this and think, what the is she talking about? I don't understand, she's off her head. And that's fine, because they're not supposed to be attracted to this, because they're not in alignment with it. That's fine, and that's what life is all about, right? We're not for everyone, we're never going to be for everyone, and we don't want to be for everyone. But just remember that if you're going through shit times, if you're going through something that's difficult right now and you're concerned about it, know that in the scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. Oh, that's hilarious, this flashy car. It doesn't really matter, so don't worry. This too shall pass. That's saying this too shall pass, and it will. Think about all those things you've been through in your life that were really difficult. For example, my near-death experience, my being on another country on my own and no family, and basically being a lone ranger, like just making life happen and just being on my own and just making it work, and not having any money or any job or anything, and being ill, and all these things I've been through but it all worked out, right? It is working out, and it always is working out, and it's a lesson that we need to learn. And just know that whatever you're going through, whether good or bad, it's gonna end, because the only guarantee in life is change, and that is what's happening. So just know this is not it. It's just a game. All the ego stuff is bullshit. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about anybody's opinion. Don't worry about anyone else's, what they're doing. Don't compare yourself to anybody. This is just a game, and you chose to be this player. So remember that, and think, why did I choose to be this player? Because you did. You chose to be this player. You chose to be who you are. You chose your parents. You chose this situation. You chose where you are right now. Everything that you did and have done and have chosen up until this point has been your responsibility, and you've chosen it. So own it, right? And just know that if you're going through something difficult, and this might be really hard to swallow, but it is for your own good. It's a blessing. There's a blessing in every lesson. What I went through, where I had no money, where I nearly died, where I couldn't cope, I was mentally ill, I was hospitalized, all this stuff, that was one of the best things that ever happened to me, even though it was the most painful thing I ever experienced in my life, like horrifically. The best thing that ever happened to me. Why? Because now I have no fear. If I can experience something as horrific as that and as painful as that, then I can do anything, right? I don't need, I just am, you know, and everything else is a bonus. So don't sweat the small stuff. I had a little bit of a thing with a client today, and it kind of bothered me a little bit, and then I thought about it, and I thought, Michelle, come on, this is a piss in the pot in the scheme of things. You're like a tiny little dot in a massive abundant universe full of opportunity and people and things, and this tiny little situation is nothing. It's nothing. And you will get to the point when you awaken more and more and more, and you realize, you'll get to the point where you're like, I'm not bothered. Like nothing bothers me. Yes, you might have a little moment. Fine. I had a moment today. I have a moment A lot of days I'm a strong character, I'm pretty transparent, like I can't help it. If I'm pissed off, you probably know about it, but at the same time I'll get over it. I'll be like, okay, it's done, moving on. We don't have time to waste. We are here to enjoy life. We are here to experience joy, love, to fall in love, to be loved, to feel the sand between our toes, to dance the night away, to paint, draw, sing, to feel and experience this for what it is. That is it. We're not here for anything else. So go and experience it. Go and do you. Forget about the small stuff. Don't sweat it. And don't be afraid to shine. I used to be afraid to shine for what people would think. Now I couldn't give a flying, excuse my French. As I say that, a little winged creature is flying in front of me. I've got a thing about butterflies and that has a meaning. But yeah, that's it. That's it, folks. Good luck with everything. Good luck with life. Go do life. Go do you. Go play the game and don't worry about winning, because the end, we all end up in the same place, which is freedom and ultimate love. So don't worry about it. It's all good. That's it. Bye.